Brian Stann left his job as UFC commentator this week.
We should have a moment. Yeah, we should have a moment of silence, like a 10-bell salute, like they do in WWE. So sad.
I was actually devastated when this happened because he's so good at his job. He's, I mentioned Dan Hardy's one of the best earlier. I think Brian Stann, he changed the paradigm of how color commentary is done on MMA. I really think that, like, Joe Rogan did such a great job for years explaining stuff and being the color, in the color commentary. But I think Brian Stann, with the new, he brought the transition to WME IMG on so much with the analytical work. Like, people as myself and Patrick Wyman, other guys like that who try to do analysis, sometimes it's hard to get people interested in analysis, or to get people to read it, or to get people to listen to things about analysis. But Brian Stann made people like it. He talked about things on the broadcast and outside of the broadcast that, he was a big proponent of bringing in replays of clips where you could draw kind of on the TV screen and show people at home exactly what they need to be looking for. He was so well educated on all different sides of the sport. He was, he used to talk to all the fighters beforehand, get really into them as people as well as fighters. And I think it's a absolutely huge loss for the UFC.
Yeah, I actually, when I heard the news, I think I kind of went like, no, not Brian, like out loud, which was, kind of embarrassing. But anyway, I mean, it's, man, you put it perfectly. Like, this is a huge loss for the UFC. And Brian Stann is not only a guy who was absolutely the best member of any of the commentary teams ever. Really kind of changed the way those things, the commentary team should operate. You're still going to get people who go in there and wing it constantly. But I mean, in terms of preparation, presentation, there was nobody like Brian Stann. So Brian Stann was not only the best member of that commentary team, he was a guy who I thought should be the face of the UFC in the new WME IMG era, and not Dana White. But I mean, Brian Stann is also a guy, people joke about it, but I'm not fucking joking at all. Brian Stann is a guy who should be president of the United States. Maybe that still is in his future. And if so, I will vote for him. But for the moment, for the UFC, it is a huge loss. And I mean, they'll be fine, because I don't think fans put as much emphasis on the commentary teams as the media does, because if that were true, they wouldn't be so in love with maybe Mike Goldberg or Joe Rogan. But I think people like us, people who notice the commentary teams, it's a huge deal.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Look, I've said it for the last few years here that UFC are doing pretty well with commentators now. As I said, I mentioned Hardy's great, Stan was great. I still like Rogan. I still think Rogan is good at his job.
You're wrong.
Okay, and I think they moved on. I don't think Kenny Florian is a great color guy, but they moved him on to where he's good. I think he's good behind the desk at that job. And I think Dominic Cruz is very good as well. And I wouldn't be the biggest fan of Cormier, but I think he's a guy that will improve over time. And it's the same with Cruz. They're very, very new to it. So I think they're good. But as you mentioned, I think Stan was definitely the best, and he will definitely be missed as well.